Well, is anyone surprised? We have Thanksgiving coming up in the US, and of course, who has popped up? Of course, Harry and Meghan, because like with everything, they've got to make it about themselves. The two ex-royals who seem to love acting like they're still part of the royal family. And well, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about what's really going on, the fact that they're using the children, because some believe they are there, some believe they are not. And we're going to get into that and all the other things that I come up with in this video. So if you want to get to the truth, then this could be the channel for you. I don't do clickbait, I don't do gossip. I find evidence and based upon facts. So if I can ask if you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like, because it does help the algorithm, and even drop a hype if you've enjoyed it that much. So, well, let's get into it. Go grab your drink of choice, whatever that may be, as you sit back and relax as we get into some tea with some therapeutic psychology. So yes, Harry and Meghan, the grift that keeps on grifting. Here we have again, they have come out for a Thanksgiving where they're doing some charity work. You know, there are times when I just have to laugh with these two, because it is so transparent and it is so obvious what they're doing, especially given the fact that they have all the photographs are, and I'll put one up here, you can see at the bottom, they are for Archewell. I'm guessing they're running out of donations, so of course what they're doing now is they're doing what they often do, and that's come out and utilize what is going on to promote themselves. They don't just do things for the sake of doing it, like a lot of celebrities, because let's be honest, these two are not royals. They're not working royals. They don't do anything for the royal family, apart from give them grief. So when celebrities do things, a lot of celebrities do things quietly. You know, if you Google, you know, you can find some evidence of some of the things that they do, but generally speaking, they do not advertise it. It does not go into the mainstream media, because they're doing it for charity. They're not doing it for global recognition. Harry and Meghan, we know, like some celebrities that do this, want the global recognition. They are so desperate to, I believe, attempt to look as if they care, that they'll do absolutely anything to do it. And of course, what we've got now is that they are coming out with these two children. Now, I understand, because I've seen the comments, I've seen the social media posts. There are always going to be the diehard fans that will just go along with the assumption that these two are their children, and that they were born and they've grown up and all of those things. But as you know, I have said, and if you haven't seen my playlist, The Children, go across and watch that. So from the beginning, I have said, Lily is not real. She was never born to Harry and Meghan. I believe that she was an adoption or a surrogacy that didn't go to plan. Archie, the boy, and I do believe that his real name probably isn't even Archie, I believe is Harry's, but is here in the UK. But I do believe he potentially travels to the United States to visit, because that would be, you'd sort of think, okay, I can sort of get my head around that, because some of the photographs that we see, you can tell are very edited. Like the Halloween outing was so edited, so photoshopped. It was unbelievable that anyone believed that to be true. It was so, there was no connection with even with the children. There was just no connection whatsoever. You know, there was video footage of the boy walking up to Marcus Anderson, and Marcus Anderson didn't even acknowledge he was there. And I think that this was added in. Now, I have shown proof how this can easily be done just in the apps that I can find. So imagine what you can do if you have money and connections to do it. So when I'm looking at these photographs, do I potentially feel that the girl is real? Yes, I do. In this, and the reason being is not because I think that this is the original child that was born apparently to Meghan the way that she portrays it. I have said I believe that they've adopted. I think that they have adopted an older girl, because if you look at certain footage, it looks like the same child. Okay, I do believe that they manipulate the hair color. I do believe that there's a possible wig involved. There is just some very strange weirdness going on, but I do believe potentially that there is a girl. It's just that she's neither Harry's nor Meghan's. She's adopted, and I think they adopted her probably just before, maybe 6 months or so before she came on Instagram. And I think that was the only reason why she then came on Instagram, is because she then wanted to start showcasing the girl and using the little girl. So you then have the boy. Now, if you look at this boy, it is very, very weird. The girl is starting to overshadow this boy. She's starting to look bigger than the boy. And he just seems to stay the same size. He does not seem to grow. He, like I've said, he is literally, should be renamed Archie Button, because it's like he's going backwards. That's, people that know, it's the Benjamin Button, the film where Brad Pitt starts off as a really old man and then just goes back, I think, until he's a baby. I'm not sure. I think something like that. But yeah, so this is kind of curious to me, because here you have them going out to a public place. You can see there are other people there. So if we're going to go with the concept of, say, that Harry and Meghan, say, turns up with a girl and the boy doesn't even exist, then this would mean that the boy is then superimposed into these photographs. Is that possible? Absolutely. And I believe they do it. Or could it be that this is one of those occasions when Archie is visiting, and so they decide to do something because Archie's visiting, in again creating the illusion that they are a real family. Now, you've also got to remember back in, was it June, when Meghan said that she teaches these two to be compassionate, to and what was it she said that she, let me just, was it a kid-sized farmer's market stand at their alleged home in Montecito? Now, a lot of people have said, and if you Google, there isn't such a thing, but also there's no evidence of this. I mean, I'm sorry. You're allegedly stating that you live in this mansion, and I've questioned this. I don't believe it at all. But these are multi-millionaires that have got acres and acres and acres of land, and more than likely grow their own stuff, but more certainly can afford to buy from the top of the range, wherever you get your produce from there. But she wants us to believe that, to be kind, she's got these two children to set up a stand outside their property where multimillionaires live, but getting them to buy her produce. Where is that being kind? Because I don't believe anyone that lives there is going to pull up alongside these two kids and be like, oh, you've got some vegetables. Okay, we'll buy some. I just don't. And I also don't believe that happened either. But also, why would you be selling to multi-millionaires, aside from the fact that you want money? If you've got lots of fruit and vegetables, to be kind, you would go to less affluent places, people that cannot maybe afford fruits or vegetables because they're expensive, and you would hand them out. You wouldn't get people to buy them, queue up and buy them. You would literally you would get people to hand them out for you. Well, that's what I would do. If I had money and I was rich, I would be helping people. I wouldn't be getting them to buy from me. I would be giving people things. I would be gifting them. So the fact that what she's basically saying in that moment is, I'm teaching my children how to earn money, which, okay, look, don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with earning your pocket money. And I've certainly raised my kids to be the same. But these are multimillionaires. So if you're saying that you've got lots of fruit and vegetables and you're teaching your children allegedly to be compassionate, then show compassion to the people that cannot afford it. But no, apparently she sets up a stall in an area that's full of multimillionaires who can afford fruits and vegetables from, like I say, from the most expensive places, but selling them. If you look at the photographs, like I say, they are all attached to Archie Well. And I am sorry, but I will always go with the fact that I believe they're doing this because the donations are not coming in. So they want people, because bear in mind, and let's remember that, people, that they take 95% of whatever donations come in to Delaware, they take 95%. So they want donations coming in. So what they're using here, and I understand, don't get me wrong, the only one thing I will say is drawing attention to these kitchens, which is, it's called as OBKLA, non-profit organization that gives out meals to the less fortunate in Los Angeles. You know, I will, okay, I get that. But the sad thing is that these are being used like they use everyone and everything. And they now know that by putting children, because these are two people that are supposedly wanting to keep everything private, but they're now utilizing the children because it's the only currency they've got. The titles people are not particularly interested in. So they know that anytime they put something out regarding the children, it gets noticed. So they've taken along a photographer, and his name is Eric SHOWUP. And go across to his Instagram. I will put the picture up here because he's left the comments open for the photograph that he took. And of course I've added mine, little comment. So feel free to go across and exert your feelings of how you feel about Harry and Meghan. In whatever format that might be. Obviously, just trying to keep it as respectful as we possibly can because we don't want to get removed from Instagram. So yeah, his name is Eric SHOWUP, and he is a photographer, and it seems like he does photograph celebrities. But of course, he's gone across and but I wonder what's happened to Miss Anne Harriman. Is he on the out now? Has he been markled because of the fact that he got exposed for editing the photographs of Harry and Meghan? Even though he denied it, but it did come out that he did. So interesting that he's now no longer in the in circle. So this is possibly the new guy. And yeah, so this is what they're doing. They are now utilizing these alleged children. And as I've said, I do believe that they've potentially adopted a little girl now. I wonder, and I have said before again, that whether they went to Colombia, this was connected to Colombia, because I've seen in the comments people have said, well, there's no white children in Colombia. Yes, there are, and there's actually a lot of children in foster homes, in care homes. There is a very high possibility that they adopted a little girl, and a very high possibility that they dye her hair, because if you look at some photographs, it looks like she's got mousy brown hair, and then in others she looks like she's got red hair. So I wonder if they do manipulate the hair in photographs, whether they dye her hair or whether they just do it in the photograph to make it redder. And we know this can be done. So I wonder when the titles are gone, because I truly do believe that when William becomes king, that this is going to happen. There's already huge rumors of the fact that the children most definitely are going. So because you cannot have, and I think this is why Americans are so done with Harry and Meghan, because of the fact that it's coming out that she's stolen clothing. The green dress that she advertised on her as ever holiday special, the dress, it's coming out that she took the dress, and it's like worth $1,700. And the conflicting stories of her fan base are like, well, she's a royal, she can take anything. It's like, no, she can't. And actually, more so being when she was a royal, that she's not allowed to do that. The royal family don't do that. So the fact is that she's a thief. So let's be honest, she's a thief. So not only is she a grifter, she's a thief. She steals things. And there's been lots of rumours of her stealing jewellery, other things, and utilising the fact that she's connected to the royal family to do it. And this is why it's incredibly dangerous and why the royal family absolutely need to do something to stop her from doing this. She's using the royal family name, in a sense, to do things, and she's stealing from people. So not only is she stealing, she's, like I say, she's utilizing children, using children to do what she's doing, to get money. And if you haven't seen my video before this, please go and watch that, because they're also, as I've said in there, using a 70-year-old millionaire and her money to fund their lifestyle. So this is why it is so frustrating watching this and watching the mainstream media constantly seem to be fawning all over them. This is nothing other than wanting people to donate. So if you're going to donate to the non-profit. Donate to them. Do not donate to Merchywell. Donate to the non-profit. But this is what they're doing. And then, like I say, using the alleged children to do it. And the other thing as well, we know how much Meghan enjoys trying to copy the Princess of Wales. And we had that wonderful moment when the Princess of Wales was with the children and they were helping out. And so again, this is exactly what they're doing. They are attempting to be royals in a country that does not recognise royalty, does not recognise the titles, but that's what they're doing. And I will say this until I'm blue in the face. And I have got a video that I'm going to be doing next week, unless they do something else, because I can't seem to flip and keep up with whatever it is that they're doing, where I believe I know what Meghan's plan is. And, you know, I've been studying this and looking into this, and I think I know what she's up to. So I'm going to be exploring that in another video, along with the one about the boy. I'm going to be talking about that as well in another video. So I've got all these in my mind to do. I just needed to just stop for 5 minutes doing things. Because I have to keep up with recent events. So this is what we've got going on now. You know, we've got that this is the plan. And like I say, and everything is to sort of overshadow the royal family. So Thanksgiving now is becoming about them. It's like, you know, we had Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party, which became about Harry and Meghan, which is why I have also heard that the Kardashians are done. They are no longer interested in Harry and Meghan. They are not, and I do believe going up against the Kardashians is a very bad move. But it is the lying and the monopolizing the media to make it all about them that was the problem. So these two are alienating so many people, and they just can't help themselves. And like I say, now utilizing these children again to go out and do something publicly, but doing it in such a way that almost like mirrors what the Princess of Wales did. Everything they do is to try to overshadow either the royal family, or Meghan does it to overshadow the royal family and at times Harry. We have Harry trying to do things, I think, using Canada, you know, with the veiled sort of threats of possibly going to Australia, because they know at some point the Prince and Princess of Wales are going to go to Australia, but it's coming out that the government in Australia are not interested in them. They can come across as private citizens, but they're not going to be rolling out the red carpet. So this is what they are basically using, these royal connections, royal titles for freebies. There is no way this multi-millionaire Victoria Jackson would have helped them if it wasn't for the fact they're connected to the royal family. There is no way she would have got Oprah, Ellen, Spotify, Netflix, any of those things if she hadn't have married into the royal family. This has been the grift from the beginning. We've all said it, and this is no different. She is now using children, whether they are hers, adopted, whoever they are. She's using children and making it seem like they're doing some charity work when actually they're not. You know, everything is, there's like the surface, and then there's what goes on underneath. Because the biggest thing here is when you're saying things like show up, do good, create, and saying that you're creating children to be kind and give back, but yet you have never shown your children to their grandfather, Thomas Markle. You have never reached out to be kind, to show up to him when he has gone through what he's gone through, fed him to the wolves and literally let him fend for himself. You do not bring these alleged children over to the UK. And I do think there's obviously more to that because, like I said, I don't believe that they are there. But, you know, you are not, there's no interaction with the family that you have over in the UK. They don't see cousins. They don't see aunties and uncles. They don't see grandparents. They don't see anybody. They are literally holed up wherever it is, flitting, possibly, if they've got a girl living with them and the boy visits, then they are flitting from place to place because they have no home, because they're staying in this 70-year-old's multimillionaire villas and mansions and moving around. There's no consistency. There's no security. There's no nothing. And that's what they do. So when you're saying that you show up to be kind, but then you are not kind to anyone unless you're getting something from them, that's not kindness. That's using people. You know, the friends that she says that she has seem to only have appeared since she's married Harry, almost certainly since they've left the UK. Up until that point, these people were nowhere. There was no, Victoria Jackson wasn't friends with them. Oprah wasn't friends with them. Whether she is still, who knows? All these people were not friends. In fact, the friends that she allegedly did have, the friends that Harry had, have been dumped. The family, dumped. All they have are people that have money. That's it. Anyone that's got money, anyone that's got connections that they can use and utilize, that is what they do. That is not kindness. That is not compassion. That is manipulative. That is using people. That is grifting. That is gold digging. Big difference. Big, big difference. And again, the mainstream media, knowing that people click on their whatever it is that they put out, say nothing. Say nothing apart from, oh, look at Harry and Meghan going out and doing something good. No, they're not. No, they're not. One day, I hope that the mainstream media will actually stop sucking up to these people and start printing the truth. If I was do you know what? Maybe I should start training to be a journalist, because I think I would do a far better job than any of these people in telling the truth, because I'm not afraid to say it. Even as a YouTuber risking my channel, I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not afraid to call them out and say they're lying. They are lying about the children. They are lying about what they're doing. They are lying about literally everything to get money, to get connections, whatever it is. And that's not the Christmas spirit, the holiday spirit, as she calls it. That's not kindness. That's not compassion. That's self-serving. That is looking after yourself and not giving a crap about anybody else. So yeah, that's what they're doing. And I will say it till I'm blue in the face, that I hope that Prince William does what we think he's going to do. And I do hope that King Charles is paving the way for Prince William to do this, because I know some people have said it's not fair. And maybe that's right. Maybe that's right. But we've also got to remember that they're a family. So there is every chance, given that King Charles is poorly, that William is caring about his father. And so he is saying, you sort Andrew out, leave Harry to me. Because we know there is going to be backlash from certain cult fanatics. We also know that they are possibly going to come out and be vengeful. And that's a lot of stress. That's a lot of stress. So William might be in that place where he's like, let me handle this. Let me deal with them. When the time comes, let me deal with them. So I do get that. I think we can all relate to that if we care about our parents. You know, as we get to a certain age and our parents get older, we take things on that perhaps we wouldn't maybe have normally done before, because we care about them and we don't want them having that extra stress, because obviously there is more of a risk as they get older. So I do understand that as a family. You know, I understand that maybe for him, there is also some satisfaction in doing this to Harry. You know, him stripping the titles or whatever it is, there will be some satisfaction, I imagine, for him in actually being the one that does it. So maybe for us to say it's not fair, maybe we should sit back and think, let's not take that moment from him, because Harry has done some horrendous things to his brother, said the most horrendous things about his brother and his brother's wife, and allowed things to be said about the children. So maybe for William, that he needs to do this. It's something that he feels that he has to do to almost have some semblance of closure, maybe. I don't know. But I do understand people saying it's not fair. But then I think, well, maybe for William, this is what he wants. He wants to do this. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there other things that you know that you think about that I don't always see, because I don't always get all the information? What are your thoughts about these pictures that have come out? Yeah, so let me know what you think in the comments, because as always, I like to read them. Sorry that I don't get to everybody, but I do try to get to as many as I possibly can. I just want to say thank you to the people that have been emailing me sort of all sorts of things, you know, whether it's you're asking for advice or whether you're just sending me some information. Really do appreciate you. Thank you to the people that have been sending me some amazing letters, and I've had some wonderful things through the post. Some of you have asked me not to share because you're shy and you're private, and I absolutely get that. But yeah, I've had some wonderful photographs from people and letters, and please keep them coming, because I absolutely adore reading them. If you want to send me a Christmas card, you can. The PO box is active, so you can utilize that. So please, if you want to send that, then you know that I would love to receive a Christmas card from people from all walks of life. That does make me so happy. I keep everything. I really do. I don't throw a single thing away. So thank you so much. And yeah, there's obviously lots of ways you can support the free therapy program. A lot of them are running across the bottom. You can email me. There's my bubble merchandise, the Amazon wish list. For some people that have asked if they can send me a Christmas present, or Arthur and the kitties a Christmas present, there is an Amazon wish list. You can go across to that and you can utilize something off there, which will get sent straight to me. Or like I say, you can just send me a Christmas card in the post if you want to, or just email me. You know, whichever it is, I will be gladly and grateful to receive whatever it is from you guys. So that being said, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, whatever you are up to. I'm very excited. I'm going to get my tree, my Christmas tree. I love this time of year. I'm so excited. I'm like a child. So we're going to be decorating, and yeah, just my big happy place. So yeah, I will be obviously putting up I will do a little video which I will tag on the end when it's all done, and I will show you guys my festive house when it's done, so you can see a little bit of my home. And yeah, so enjoy what you're doing. And I will see you next week, as always. And please remember to stay safe and look after yourselves first and foremost. But I love you. I appreciate you. But most of all, I respect you. Take care. Bye-bye. Mwah.